Thank you for joining us on another episode with the Youthology podcast. Every week we bring to you a topic in youth ministry and youth leadership. And this week we are going to talk about our total health. Yes, our total health. Listen, we're going to be handling the topic of total wellness. We talked last week about mental health. Well, we're going to take that a little further and deal with something that I've been getting a lot of interest around the country in this topic. It seems like every question and response time that we have with leaders, this topic of health and total wellness comes up. So stay with us because I want to talk about this important topic of total wellness right now. Listen, humanity. What are we doing with what God has given us? We are who we are on purpose. Did you hear that? We are who we are on purpose. Either a bad purpose or a good purpose. A bad plan or a good plan. Bad intent or a good intent, right? Our wellness is defined by our sleep patterns, our nutrition, our exercise, and our time management, our disciplines. And there is a definite trend towards unhealthy lifestyles today in America. If you look around us, it's pretty clear that our health is a problem in the U.S. The United States is not even in the top 10 healthiest countries in the world, right? I mean, think about that. That is an issue with all of the resources that we have, okay? We're not even in the top 10 healthiest countries in the world. You've heard it said before that leaders are readers. I want to broaden that. I think that it should be said that leaders are sleepers, leaders are eaters, and leaders are walkers. Yeah, stay with me, okay? Stay with me on this because I want to define this really well. The best leaders value their total wellness. For example, many people boast that they are so busy and they have no time for themselves because they read a book every week. Well, what about taking the stairs every week or going on a walk every week, right? Because it's not just about our IQ and our EQ, right? It's about our total wellness. They say things like, well, I'm burning the candle at both ends. Listen, I've learned that it's not really a badge of honor to declare your busyness as production. I've seen busy that wasn't anything about production, okay? Can I give you some proof? All right, listen, let me give you some proof. It is no secret that America is one of the most unhealthy countries in the world. Statistics say that 34% of Americans are overweight. That's about 200 million people that are overweight, okay? Not just heavy, right, but overweight. Aside from this, there are 33 million people in America who have been diagnosed with clinical depression. So overweight, obesity, and depression. And as we saw last week, 40% of mental health facility patients are teenagers. This isn't good. This is not, we have to do something about this. We are addicted to leisure and coveting. Think about that. We are addicted to leisure and coveting. Could it be that we are over materialistic and yet we still cannot get enough? Could it be that we have the best of technology, but we are still wanting more connectivity? Could it be that we have more pleasure in America, but we are as unhappy as ever? I mean, think about those statements. Materialism, connectivity, and pleasure are not bringing us happiness in America. Let me bring up a really important topic, and that is the Sabbath. Do you know that the Sabbath is not a suggestion, it is a commandment. One of my favorite principles in the Bible is about rest. As we just said, do not equate busyness with production. In all actuality, that is simply untrue. We need a greater purpose and not busyness. A better commitment to business and commerce and efficiency and not busyness. You see the difference? Business, efficiency, commerce, not busyness. Listen, a quick reference to Exodus 31 and also 2 Timothy 2 talk about the Sabbath principle and the stewardship principle. The Sabbath of rest and the stewardship of sowing and reaping. Who we are, right? The value of rest and the value of sowing, because we are what we eat and what we sleep and what we exercise, and right? Okay, listen. I watched a recent popular TED.com video on play deprivation, or PD. I've come to find that there are so many important factors in creating a balanced life, and play is one of them. I know as a youth leader, you're thinking, yeah, that's me right now. I need that. Listen, aside from your time and your task management and study and reading and recreation and your nutrition and your sleep, listen, all of those things are important, but we need to not just be great sleepers and eaters and walkers, we need to play. That's right. I think we need a greater play in America, in our lives. We have forgotten how to relax. We have forgotten how to play. And the result is unhealthy lifestyles, being uptight, an increase in anger, a lack of creativity, a loss of confidence, a lack of exploration and creativity, right? And social awkwardness because our confidence is down. Listen, the leader's schedule is hectic, right? I get that. As spiritual leaders, we have some important tasks that we need to consider. Tasks such as sermon prep and study and counseling and appointments and leadership development and delegation and personal and professional development. Listen, there's mentoring and counseling and administration and community involvement and personal rest and right? It's like tiring to even look at that list. If we are not balanced as spiritual leaders, then we become buried with these duties and the schedule of a pastor, or really anyone for that matter, and the rest of us. Listen, the result can be devastating to our personal health, our personal wellness, our family, our ministry, or our church or organization. Total wellness needs safeguards. Here, listen, let me finish up with these safeguards. All right, I want to give you some simple safeguards that will help you get to total wellness. One of the safeguards for a healthy life is recreation. But it is apparent that there is a play deprivation in our culture, a lack of emphasis upon leisure and right. So all of this. So let me just let me say it this way. I'm not talking about being childish. I'm talking about being childlike. When we talk about play and recreation and all that, sometimes people will see that as juvenile. But think about these safeguards and these questions that will, I think, stir your interest in total wellness and increase your productivity. All right? Listen, number one, play is a safeguard to total health. Ask yourself these simple play history questions. This will help you understand if you're playing enough, right? When is the last time that you played with an object, a ball, right? A stick, a glove, an object, a squeeze toy? How do you relieve tension or stress from your life? Okay, important questions. When is the last time you laughed? Can you remember who you were with the last time you laughed? Can you remember the last time that you cried yourself laughing so hard? Here's another question. How often do you run? How often do you jump? How often do you make up a game? Like not stepping on the cracks on the sidewalk. I remember that. Oh man, yeah, I still do that. Right? Almost 60 years old and I still do that. Listen, the fruit of wellness is less stress, loss of complexity, better spiritual leadership, more focus, self-respect, physical stamina, which leads to production, right? Mental toughness, discipline. I think most of us would want these things in our life. And so the first thing that, we have to look at these questions that will take us to that discipline. How do we gain this discipline, right? It's these safeguards. Okay, safeguard number 2. Exercise is a safeguard. Honestly, really, first, listen, let me say this before you get upset about this, but exercise will help you remove energy in your body. Just 60 minutes, 4 times, a week. It will help you remove that extra energy in your body. That will help you sleep. That will help you concentrate. Here's another exercise trick or safeguard. Get outdoors and breathe clean air. Walk, hike, run, ride a bike, right? Listen, third question. Find a hobby that is strenuous, makes you sweat. Listen, take the stairs. Walk instead of driving them out, right? People get in a car, drive down the block to the neighbor's house, and then get out of the car. Walk. Listen, much of the reason that we are too tired is because we don't get enough exercise, not because we have exercised too much. All right. Number 3 safeguard. Nutrition is a safeguard. That's right. You are what you eat. We could have a little fun with that, right? But listen, let's move on. First, this is so important. Change your diet. Get away from caffeine and sugar. Much of your unrest, much of your nervousness and lack of production could be nutritional, simply nutritional. Second, eat lighter 4 times a day instead of eating heavy 3 times a day. I did something that changed my life. I started eating 2 meals a day, 2 meals a day, 21 years ago, and it transformed the way that I live my life. And I don't eat after 10 p.m. Now, that might sound late for some of you, but I don't go to bed till 1 a.m. I'll hit that in a minute, right? But I never eat within 3 or 4 hours before I go to bed. Let me give you the last safeguard, and that is sleep. That's right. Leaders are sleepers. Right? Did you get that? Come on. I know I've said it a few times, but listen, leaders honor the Sabbath. Jesus was onto something here. Okay? God put this as a commandment, not a suggestion. Listen, as much as possible, let me give you some practical steps. Go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every day. I've done it for many, many years. I go to bed at 1 a.m. and I get up at 8 a.m., 7 hours a day. Second, one of the best ways I've found to relax when it is time to sleep is to organize your life. Listen, this really transformed me. I know all of us make to-do lists and we write things down so that they're off our mind. But listen, have you ever thought about creating a not to-do list? Right? Not to-do list of things that waste your time. And by even writing those or saying those, then it will help you to avoid those. Here's another thing that you can do when it comes to rest and sleep. Don't work before bed because it stimulates your mind and your senses, and it will be difficult to sleep because now you're thinking, oh man, I didn't get this done and I got to do this tomorrow. Nope, stay away from that and journal your not to do list. Okay, all right. Hey, let me finish. Finally, with this whole topic on total health, we have to understand that total health is holistic. It's not just exercise. It requires disciplines in a lot of these areas: play, exercise, nutrition, sleep. Each of these play into our physical, spiritual, and emotional health. As much as we talk about the spiritual disciplines, praying and fasting and worship and study and simplicity and giving, and we must talk about physical disciplines, because it is both spiritual and physical disciplines that create the person that we are. It is not just our spiritual disciplines, it is our physical disciplines also. Please understand when we're talking about this is holistic. And I'm not asking us, listen, I know that sometimes we can make this jump. I'm not asking us to be Wonder Woman or Superman, right? This is not about perfect health. This is about optimal health. Do you know that 90%, this is a Blue Cross Blue Shield study, 90% of Americans are not living their optimal health. Listen, and it's more than your body type. I think you can have any kind of body type and still be healthy, right? Listen, there's no excuses for obesity. There's no excuses for anorexia or bulimia. God expects that we do the best we can with the body type temple that He's given to us, right? Man, total wellness is total discipline. Remember this is really important as we finish. Total wellness is total discipline. It doesn't just happen. Remember, we are what we play, we are what we exercise, we are what we eat, we are what we sleep. All of those things go into play and produce the kind of person that we are. You are in the condition you are in on purpose, either a bad purpose or a good purpose. Let's get out of the 90% of people who are not living their optimal health with just a few small steps. See what I did there? Every day, steps will transform your total health, okay? Hey, thank you for listening. Check us out on the socials. Go to the link tree. At any one of our socials, you can find these resources where you can read the manuscript, you can watch the video, or you can listen to the iTunes podcast, okay? Hey, thanks again for joining us at Youthology, and again, join us next week for another topic in youth leadership.